Today we will see human digestive system. That is, we are talking about two types of mode of nutrition. One is autotrophic and the other one was heterotrophic. Under heterotrophic, we will be discussing about human digestive system or the mode of nutrition in human beings. Human beings are multicellular organisms and they have special organs to perform all the processes that are involved in digestion. Before that, we should talk about the single cell microorganism called amoeba, which performs all its processes with the help of one single cell. So we'll come back to the topic later on. Now first we will study about the human digestive system. Children, we have holozoic mode of nutrition, and in this the organism takes the food into the body with the help of mouth or buccal cavity. A mouth has teeth, tongue, and a special gland called salivary gland. So the moment we take a spoon of rice or a bite of chapati, it is broken down into simpler forms here in the mouth. The teeth, the tongue, and the salivary glands help in breaking down of food. Salivary glands release an enzyme called as salivary amylase. Enzyme is nothing but a biological catalyst which helps in speeding up the reaction. The food is broken down into simpler parts here with the help of teeth, tongue, and the salivary glands. Salivary glands release saliva which acts on carbohydrate food. So digestion starts in the mouth. Then the food is slowly pushed into a pipe-like structure called as food pipe or esophagus. The food is made moist and soft so that it can move slowly here in the food pipe. And slowly the food in the soft manner, it will move into the J-shaped structure called as stomach. And the stomach, the food enters the stomach by peristaltic movements. These movements will push the food slowly into the stomach. Now, stomach is an organ which you will find under the chest cavity. It is in the abdominal region. It is J-like structure, or it's a bag-like structure. They have special glands called as gastric glands. Gastric glands release pepsin, mucus, and HCl. Remember, gastric glands release pepsin, mucus, and HCl. The food was having an alkaline medium in the mouth. Here, salivary amylase made the food alkaline. The food is brought into the stomach. Here, the medium is acidic because of HCl. HCl is nothing but hydrochloric acid. So, pepsin, mucus, and HCl are released by glands called as gastric glands. The food is further broken down here in the stomach with the help of pepsin. Pepsin acts on protein-rich food. It helps in breaking down the protein into simpler forms, amino acids. The mucus has a special role to play. Mucus acts as a barrier between the stomach wall and the inside of the stomach. Mucus acts like a barrier. It does not allow the acid to come in contact with the stomach wall. You might have heard that HCl is an acid and it is highly dangerous. But when it is there in our stomach, why it's not making holes or it is not damaging the stomach wall? Because of mucus, which is like a jelly-like substance which is acting in between the stomach wall and the acid. It acts as a barrier. Now, the food is slowly moved from the stomach into the duodenum or a curve-like structure, and it moves into the small intestine. Here you have a muscle called as sphincter muscle, which helps in pushing the food slowly into the intestine. The food does not just jump into the intestine like a roller coaster. It will move slowly, bit by bit, into the small intestine. So the sphincter muscle helps in moving the food. Now you can see a big structure here. This is nothing but liver. Liver is the largest gland in the body. And here a balloon-like structure, you can see this is nothing but gallbladder. Liver secretes bile juice and stores in the gallbladder. Whenever the food rich in fats enters this duodenum, gallbladder will release the juice, bile juice. Bile juice break down fats. This leaf-like structure you can see, it is nothing but pancreas. A very important organ, and you can see a duct-like structure, which is, duct is nothing but a pipe which will pour the secretions into the duodenum. Pancreas is a special organ. It has glands which have ducts, and it has glands which do not have ducts. It has exocrine and endocrine glands. We'll talk about it in our next class. So pancreas releases trypsin, an enzyme, and lipase, another enzyme. Trypsin acts on proteins. Lipase acts on fats. So the food which is rich in fats and proteins and which is not digested in the stomach moves into the duodenum, and from here it goes into the small intestine along with the juices, bile juice, trypsin and lipase. All these juices further break down the food in the small intestine. Now, the small intestine is the largest part of the alimentary canal. The length of the small intestine is different in different organisms. In herbivores, it is very long, and in carnivores, it is short, because meat can be digested easily by the small intestine in carnivores. The length of our small intestine is roughly 7.5 meters. You children, you can understand why the length is so much, 7.5 meters, because the food moves slowly and it travels a long journey, so that in this meantime the food can be digested and absorbed inside the body. Now, when the food is moving into the small intestine along with the juices, bile juice, trypsin, lipase, there are some intestinal juices which are acting on the food here and which will further break down the food. In the intestine, carbohydrate, C stands for carbohydrate, is broken down into glucose. P stands for protein. Protein is further broken down into amino acids, and F for fats, which are further broken down into fatty acids and glycerol. So complete digestion of food takes place in the small intestine. And the food moves slowly. You in class 7th you have studied about villi or villi, finger-like projections which are there in the intestinal wall. These finger-like projections will increase the surface area of absorption and reduce the speed of the food, digested food, which is moving through the small intestine. So the food travels a very long distance in the small intestine, and in this process the digested food or simplified food is absorbed into the blood. So it is highly connected with blood vessels which will absorb the food. So in the small intestine, digestion and absorption take place. Once the food is completely digested and absorbed, the undigested food goes to this large structure called as large intestine. The undigested food goes through here into the large intestine and it moves slowly and it goes and gets collected here called as rectum. Excess water is absorbed in the large intestine. And here you have muscles which will control the movement of the undigested waste. It gets collected here, and once the pressure is created or nervous system and the neuromuscular system acts on it, then the undigested food is pushed out through the anus. So the food which we take undergoes a long process through this system and it is completely digested and absorbed. So digestion has 4 steps: ingestion, digestion, absorption and assimilation. Children, note down the enzymes you are seeing here: pepsin, mucose and HCl here, trypsin and lipase, intestinal juices, bile juice and salivary amylase. Thank you.